Hello everyone, welcome back to another reading, another video. In today's video we have 4 piles in front of you, and as what the title said, this is going to be what the spirits team hyping you up about recently, and this is going to be a very interesting one, and the first time we're actually trying this out. Apart from these 4 piles, by the end of this also you're gonna have 3 extra piles that you may choose only after you read your readings. So let's say you chose pile number 1, and by the end of it, after you receive that messages, if you're willing to continue, we have 3 extra piles to see about the extra messages for you, and you might choose between 3 piles we have in front of us. That makes it up about 2 different piles minimum that you can get when it comes to the messages on this exact reading. So I hope that is clear enough, and take a deep breath and chose your pile. I will see you in there. Hoping you're doing great. Let's jump right into it. Hello there, pile number 1. You chose the Queen of Cups, so that is actually what you chose. The Queen of Cups, next to it we have the 6 of Acorns, that is the 6 of Wands, success and triumph, and we have the 4 of Feathers, that is the 4 of Swords. It's that sanctuary and rest. So I would say it has a lot to do with your emotional well-being and with your psychically circumstances. This is very interesting because what I get is you've been kind of a little up and down maybe as of recently, and you might find yourself feeling kind of confused or overwhelmed with the details. Suddenly the wind just blow up in your face and you feel something different, something about the whole situation, and you feel somewhat a lot more psychic, you feel somewhat a lot more intuitive, because the Queen of Cups generally is about a very, very intuitive queen. There's someone who understands feelings and have a lot of control towards her own feelings. But the negative side on the Queen of Cups would be about that she cares about anyone else but herself. And what I see in here is that there might be a little torn between how you must show up, you think you must show up, compared to how you actually feel deep down inside. Because the Queen of Cups can be, like I mentioned, she is adaptable when it comes to the emotional well-being, and you might need a lot of rest as of recently. But I feel like you're also feeling a lot guilty that maybe the crowds or the public or your work kind of needs you, so somewhat taking a lot of break makes you a little jittery, right? And I feel like what the spirits team is hyping you up about, you might about in the bricks of really cracking your inner system. What I mean by that is you have a chance to leap towards a new beginning in a way that you will see things a lot more clear until very soon enough. And you might, if you ever think that maybe these things will pass, or that maybe you just get overwhelmed at time, I don't think that's the case. So I feel like the spirits are hyping you up that you have, let's say, spiritual upgrade. That's what we want to call it. And I know it sounds very cult the term in here, but I feel like there is a lot of parts of you that you're about to discover, a lot of sides of you that over the years maybe it stays hidden. And let's say maybe you can see ghosts out of nowhere, or you can feel people's emotion. It's not because you're overwhelmed, it's because you are being called to this higher calling, because you have a spiritual upgrade. So I feel like your spirits team is hyping you up that you are on the breaks of having those stuff, and I feel like they're kind of urging you to move forward with it, and do not hesitate to take that steps. As we have the 4 of Feathers, that's about sanctuary and rest. The more you nurture your body, the more you're also nurturing your mind. So not that you're exhausted, as of recently, you're not exhausted because of it, but I feel like you just have a lot more work to do. What I mean is, it's not, you might think that it was the bridge between how people think you should act versus how you actually feel, but deep down it's more kind of an inner versus outer world, that to the outside you may just kind of is similar, the same, and not changing, but deep down there's so much about you that you learn, there's so much about you that you discover. So I would say the spirits team is pretty much hyping you up about your own self, that right now you're the main character of your life, and you must take a chance, and you must take charge of it. You must accept that this is the situation moving forward, and it's not because you're tired, like no. If you think about like if there's any like exercise that can make you less tired, it's not that. It's emotional resistance. Everything comes from like emotionally. So you might find yourself, if there's an exercise, perhaps it's breathing exercise and meditation, yoga, Pilates, anything that kind of mind body connection, mind body and soul connection, you might feel drawn towards the contrast of a matter, let's say from a lot of people, a lot of crowds, company people, and for some reason the next 2 hours you might find yourself wanted to isolate yourself. If that's the case, it's not that you have a split personality disorder, it's just that your lens right now is kind of a little split up, and I think that kind of self-explanatory. So let's take a look into more cards we have. Yeah, you are in a very unique journey, collective. We have the 8 of Cups, the 4 of Cups, the Lovers. Now, this is the Lovers, the second card of the Lovers. On this particular deck, we have 2 Lovers card, and we have the World card. You are being, I feel like they're hyping you up because the old you is about to close chapter very soon, and I know it's kind of like, goodbye to the old me, say hi to the new one, but it kind of, it's kind of sort of thing. I know it sounds cliche, but with the 8 of Cups, you've just been feeling a lot of call that like whatever it is in front of you right now, it's not serving you how it should be. Like, you deserve something more than this, or that there is a bigger calling, like a bigger quest somewhat that pulled you, like into a certain direction, and you feel like you wanted to do it, but at the very same time, I feel like the situation is a bit more complex. So you might come from the environment that kind of a little bit restricted when it comes to it, and it kind of, you hesitate, which is that's exactly the point. They're hyping you up about trusting your intuition, and I'm not saying here to take the leap, or like, we don't have those cards in here. They're encouraging you to choose something according to your heart. They're encouraging you to stop running away from what you feel. They're encouraging you to stop and pausing this great adventure you have in front of you. The World card is all about closing the cycle. If the certain things doesn't exactly assist you how you wanted it to be, it's okay. Like, not everything should be assisting us in some type of way, and some stuff come to the expiration period, and at some point this thing might be the very thing that was our whole life, but at some point in time it will come towards an end. At some point in time we just don't feel that way again, and that's when you've grown. That's when you have grow in life. That's when you have expanded in life, because this is things that was satisfying you is not the case anymore. That's when you want to close the cycle, and I feel like you've been kind of a little avoidant when it comes to it. That's why we have I think that's what makes your spirit a little bit more, how to say it, like tired, or that you because you're using it not to the right direction, instead of leaping, you're using it to repress. So it's more kind of like trying to, like a locking key, and it's not the right key. And that's why we have the Queen of Cups. That's exactly the point, like I mentioned before, that you need to trust yourself at this time. There is something in there, and I can't tell you exactly what it is. You can tell yourself, but stop running away from it. I feel like that is exactly what the spirit team is hyping you up about as of recently, to trust yourself. And I'm sorry if that was like stuff in the past that makes you have a hard time to trust yourself, but we always can relearn a lot of stuff, and you may trust yourself right now. You must trust yourself, and that's what the spirit team is hyping you about. For extra messages, jump right into the extra pile section on the description, and I will see you in there. Bye for now. Hello there, pile number 2. This is going to be your pile. You chose the Magician, actually. That was where your intuition leads you. This is very interesting. Okay, this is a very rich message. First of all, you were asking here and wondering about what the spirit's team is hyping you up about as of recently. We have the Magician. Next to it, we have the Wheel. It said change and possibilities. And we have the 5 of Shells. That is the 5 of Cups, hope and readjustment. So if you find yourself feeling hopeless hopeless as of recently, or kind of disappointed in general about your life, it's because you're being encouraged to change the circumstances on your own way. So if you've been waiting about things to change in your life, yeah, that's not gonna end. That waiting period you can think about for the next 5 years, and they will still do it because the magician encouraged you to take charge of it. The magician is it's about self-manifestation, it's about turning the theory into the action, but mostly it's about the execution of action itself. It's a manifestation card. Have you ever seen a magician doing the trick without them present? No. The biggest part, the best part, what makes a magician show is because they're known that this people is the one who's doing the tricks. And apart from the trick, how can these people do the trick? Right? So people can brush up the trick, once or twice, but who made the trick work? Everyone will remember about it. And that's what the cards is all about right now. They are encouraging you to take charge of it. They are encouraging you to create it. If you want to have a good opportunity, if you want to elevate your life, do it yourself. Do it by your own circumstances. It's more kind of like your fate is in your hand. If you feel like you've been like pretty stressed out and your body pretty stressed out, do something about it. Don't wait for something or someone or circumstances will save you, and time will save you, because that's just not it. That's just not going to be the case. And I feel like that's been what kept you, let's say, quote unquote, a little depressed, as of recently, or maybe just a little confined. Things may look kind of like okay from the outside, but maybe you find yourself feeling like you search, for something. You're wondering about something, and you kind of like look beyond what you're currently going through, and you find yourself wanting something different, and that's a valid concern. That's a valid need. So what we have what the spirits team is hyping you up about recently is to make those changes, is to spin the wheel. Like, it's in your hand. Like, all of the things that you could need, everything is in your hand. You kind of like have all of the ingredients already. It's just waiting for you to take chance of it. It's just waiting for you to really try to bring it to life, try to really manifest it your own way. And yeah, again, with the Wheel of Fortune and the Five of Cups generally, it's one of the saddest card in the deck. So I would say, if you've been finding yourself like sulking up recently and feeling just sad, generally, I would say your spirits team are just very concerned with you. But you must understand that there are so much more than that what the eye can see, and you can do so much more than you think you are. So get the fuck up and sit your ass down and plan it. Like one step at a time. Do what's the easiest move and change your life, because this is what they're hyping you up about. Let's take a look further into the next few cards. Alright, for the next few cards, it's even more clear. We have the Four of Swords, we have the Queen of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the High Priestess. Heavy on a High Priestess one. You have the Inner Knowing. We have the High Priestess and the Magician card. Those are like it's like the very beginning of civilization, like a Big Bang, and then boom, that's happened, and the inner knowing. People don't know, like, how do we know that being with men and women and that what creates another human? We don't. We just try it out. We just follow our instinct, and something that has been there in front of inside of us, we bring the wisdom and we bring the inner knowing out. And this is what I feel like the spirits team are encouraging you about. All of the things you should know, it's there within you, but it's kind of locked and buried, because you might have been pretty, I would say, like I said, like quite depressed or just kind of confused about your life. You find yourself wanting to recharge and exhausted about certain matters. So I would say use that opportunity. If you find yourself feeling tired and sleeping a lot, sleep with purpose. What I mean by that is pray before you sleep that you'll get a dream or perhaps a glimpse, in your head to find your way forward. Because I know it sounds like very like that's just a dream, and stuff. I feel like we're beyond past that. We're in a Pluto and Aquarius, so I feel like everybody kind of have their own, each spiritual awakening. And what I feel like the spirits are hyping you up about is to entertain those ideas. I know it sounds crazy, but it's better that you're crazy other than depressed, other times. I'm sorry, but like like I'm not trying to, well, you get what I'm trying to say here. With the Ace of Wands, it's like a lot of great things is waiting for you, but it feels like you're just sitting with it because you're afraid, or maybe because you are afraid of making another mistakes, or which is understandable, but that's the point. That's exactly the point. That's why they're hyping you up about these things. I mean, if you know exactly what to do, they're not gonna hype it up, I guess. Like the spirit's just gonna like, yep, they got it. They don't need our needs. But I feel like you're kind of in need right now, and recharge those batteries and believe again. You may start with that. Believe again. And maybe a lot of things has disappointed you recently, and maybe life has been very, very unpredictable, but chances, it always happen. Like opportunities, one step at a time. Our capacity and possibilities is like endless, right? So many survivors in this world, so many challenges that's like overcome. Like there are just so many sides of us that is reborn, rebirth, reburied, each of a moment. So just know that, not trying to dismiss all of your concerns and all of your feelings, but you can always and will always have the power to pull yourself back up. And unfortunately, around this time, there will never be another person other than yourself to get you out of the mess, to get you out of the situation, one step at a time. I know it's scary, and they know it's scary. They know it's unpredictable, but they also know that you can ace it. That you can shine, even with the circumstances, even with the confusion. Keep going and keep the hopes up, okay, collective? And if you want to take a look into the extra messages, you can take a look into that. Maybe a little bit, of a foreseeable future, something for you to understand and hype you up even more. I will see you in there if you are willing to, and obviously if you don't, that would be our farewell right now. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. I hope I'll see you in an extra pile. Bye bye. Hello there, pile number 3. Okay, whatever is going on with you? We have this is you are wondering about what the spirit sim is hyping you up recently. We have the Wheel of Fortune. That's actually the cards that you chose right at the very beginning. Your intuition leads you here. We also have the Emperor, focus and stability, and we have the Hanged Man, patience and perspective. Okay, so what they are hyping you up about recently is to strategize. You might be, this is very specific, like there's a direction, your life kind of a little out of control as of recently. I feel like everything is like a spinning wheel as of recently. Like things change from moment to moment, time to time. So when someone asks you how are you doing, you're just like, I don't know, man, like ask me again in 5 minutes, because the answer will be kind of different from what you have right now. But okay, I don't know where to start here. Let me just jump right into what they are trying to hype you up about. The current circumstances is not working, or you don't find an exact answer to your situation or your problem right now because you lack the perspective, because you lack the strategy, because you lack the the strategy, and you lack the choices. It's just that you're not choosing wisely enough. So that leads us into the point why I said life is kind of a little out of control, because we have such a different contrast card here, the Emperor and the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man urge you to find an alternative perspective and to perhaps pause and surrender yourself to the situation, and the Emperor is anything but surrender. The Emperor is very decisive, they're focused, they are the leader, they're the stabilizer, they're the one who keeps the order. But that's the point. That's exactly why we have the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like the Spirits team is hyping you up about fluidity, about being adjustable, about being flexible to the circumstances. There are the moments where you have to, keep the head strong and being stubborn and keep going. But there are the moments where you have to pause, take a step back and reassess. So it's kind of like those two things where You have to understand that you need to place yourself and keep yourself by reading the room. You can win the whole battle, you can win the whole situation with being fluid, with being with adjusting your perspective and needs according to the situation. And I feel like that's why there kind of like things has just not been working enough recently, because you kind of tend to stay and headstrong about one particular path only. Meanwhile, what the spirit team is hyping you up about is those fluidity, because you have it in you. Whether you believe it or not, you can adjust. You're very flexible actually in your nature, because we have the Hangman and the Emperor card. So you have the capacity to, you know how life has been, maybe through experiences as well, right? Where you execute a perfect plan, you know, from the very beginning towards the end. There's that. And then there's another path where you are like somewhat adjusting as you go, but that also worked out. And that's exactly the point why right now they're hyping you up about those fluidity, that life is a little out of control, and it's not the time to control it. It's not your job to control it. It's your job to respond accordingly. That's what we see. It's very strong, you know, the energy here. So let's take a look further into a few more cards. That makes it even clearer. We have the Page of Cups, the Ace of Swords, the Seven of Swords, and the Ten of Swords. So if you want to create a checkmate right now, if you really want to let everything like crumble down, that's what I'm hearing. So you may be in a certain journey, like I said before. I feel like this specific pile know exactly what they're doing. You are coming here because you need those answers. You're kind of like a little, you know, kind of a little left and right, that what the fuck they're trying to tell me to do. Like you're kind of a little confused. I feel like there could have been a little misunderstanding with your spirits right now. So what they're trying to tell you is that the Page of Cups, you are very creative in your nature, but also the Page of Cups is very idealistic. The fact that even if you can be the greatest leader in the world, you want to do it your way and use that. It's very important for you to gain clarity and not letting all of these things like the situation or the ups and downs deter that away. You know, do not let that steer your decisions and your way and your path. You know, the Ace of Swords demands clarity. You must be sure with yourself that you can carry this out. I feel like you're maybe lacking confidence as well as of recently, because of how confusing things has been recently. But I feel like they're urging you and hyping you up about those original like why you even do the things you do right now. Take a 5 here. Why do you even do the things you do right now? Remind yourself of that and adjust accordingly. Because with the Seven of Swords, perhaps they're even encouraging you to, again, you are in a very complicated situation. You're in a very cunning situation, you know, so it's pretty much unreadable. And you have the right to not understand every part of it, because you don't understand it any more than I do. You're confused, me too. I'm confused looking at your pile. So, and that's okay. That's exactly the point. Maybe it's not meant to be understood just now. So I feel like they're hyping you up that to embrace those nature about you. And even if you don't have that nature, is to train that nature of flexibility and adjustments that you can pull everything out and pull everything off if you embrace those. And I feel like the biggest reason why things hasn't been work out the way it's supposed to work out is because you're so very headstrong about keeping it a certain path, which is totally fine, which is totally, you know, it's understandable, right? But with the Ten of Swords in here, you're gonna checkmate yourself out of the game, out of the board, out of the situation, and you're gonna let all of those things, you know, how do we say it, knock you down along the way if you're not adjust to the situation accordingly. So it's important for yourself to do so right now. I feel like that's what they're hyping you up as of recently. And thank you so much for being here. And we have a 3 extra pile right at the end of this particular reading, and if you'd like to see that, I will see you in that pile for extra messages and maybe some foreseeable future. But if you're not willing to do that, that's okay as well. Thank you so much again, and I will see you in the next prediction and next pile, I hope. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Bye bye. Hello there, pile number 4. The card that you picked and choose actually was the 3 of Cups. So this is going to be what your spirit team is trying to hype you up about recently. We have next to it the 10 of shells. Oh, this is so good. It said blessings and well-being, and with the page of crystals, that is the page of cups, ideas and discipline. So it's a lot of cups card. 3 of this, that's not a page of crystals, it's the page of pentacles, sorry. That is, this deck has been a while. I've been using it for quite some times, and then I stopped using it, and I'm using it again right now. So it's a little confusing, but not the meaning. I'm not confused about the meaning. Energetically, it's again, still very good, heavy cups energy. A lot of things about your emotions. I feel like they very much encourage you to be happy, which I know it's like, that's it, probably that's it. I feel like you've been so caught up in so many things, like maybe you're not taking things one step at a time, or you've been just kind of bamboozled, I feel like, by so many things. You've been so caught up in so many stuff that maybe some part of it is about you, some part of it not about you, but the fact that I feel like you haven't really been checking in yourself. So I feel like a lot of these spirits, trying to hype you up about putting yourself first, about listening to your heart, about listening to what your body is trying to tell you, what your soul is trying to tell you, because frankly I feel like you've been just kind of ignoring it and have been kind of not really paying too much attention to it. So maybe you haven't been in a group setting for quite a while. You've been so, I feel like, kind of like isolated, maybe dealing with your own stuff, which is totally okay. Every now and then we need a little bit of the isolation, but at the very same time I feel like it's very important to check in. Let people checking in you. More importantly, let people ask how you've been. Let people know how you've been, and this is a lot about emotional satisfaction. And I feel like you've been so dissatisfied with how you're like emotionally like dealing as of recently. That's why I mentioned to maybe checking in with yourself. Maybe I feel like you haven't been doing that for quite a while. You haven't been really really know about where you at a time. Maybe the progress and the stuff around you keep progressing and keep happening, but maybe emotionally you're not entirely caught up. You're not entirely in it just yet, which is, sometimes we experience that. But also with the page of pentacles, that they're trying to tell you that you have so many time. I feel like you have so much time in your hands, and you might be in that spot, could be maybe pretty much a beginner's mind. Like you're maybe, if you just got recently accepted into a job, and you've already been thinking about promotion, that's great. But at the very same time, slow down. At the very same time, don't let all of these things kept you away from really developing what you should be developing at a time. And it can be easy also to be deterred away by how people are experiencing life and how their life is keep progressing, and it feels like you're leaving behind and you're being left behind and you're not progressing enough in life. But the fact that you have so much time in your hands, just because you're around a lot of a fast-paced environment doesn't always mean that you have to ride on their rhythm or on their pace. Every single one of us has a very different mechanism, has a very different blueprint in our life. So I feel like this message, that they're hyping you up is prioritize yourself and be happy, and with every experience, through every experiences that you achieve, every step that you have, be happy with it. And it may not look perfect, and it is not perfect right now, but you still have so much time in your hands to make it perfect and to make it you have so much time to progress. I feel like that's basically what the card's trying to tell in here, and what the spirit has been just kind of wanting to hype you up about. Let's take a look into more cards, shall we? Okay, we have pretty clear ideas of what's going on here. We have the Page of Wands and also the Temperance card, the Two of Coins, and the Page of Coins. We have Page of Coins, that is also Page of Pentacles twice in this deck. So it's heavily warning you that you are at the very beginning. You might be, I mentioned, very young, or just very much starting learning something. And I know it feels very long. It feels with the fast-paced world, it sounds crazy, but I feel like they're hyping you up that if there is anyone that could balance life, it would be you, collective. If there is anyone that could achieve these things meanwhile also achieving that stuff, it would be you. There is so much that you could do, so much potential that I think you haven't really unlocked, and you're not gonna unlock that by doing things fast, by doing things you unlock that by slowly taking it one step at a time. By slowly understanding parts of you that you've been, that been kind of buried. Like it takes some time. The Temperance always warning you about mix up the situation, and maybe you haven't seen a clear picture, or that maybe you should be combining matters. Maybe you've been just so too caught up in doing one thing only that you neglect the other thing. That would be what the Temperance lesson is all about usually. And on top of that, also we have the Two of Coins. So you're being asked to juggle right now, and I know it may be asking a lot, but you've been so pretty like consumed, I feel like, by one particular matter only, that you kind of forget about, like, you should be these pages. You should be the Page of Wands and the Page of Pentacles. So they're hyping you up about, like, say yes to more opportunities, like go out there, check out and check up, with some people. You can still excel at your work or at your job, or at your circle, or anything along the occupation, professional life, yet also have a personal life. You can have still a good romance and making money, so basically, like, you don't have to sacrifice one thing for the other. Like, we're not on the 1400 anymore. We exactly have a choice when it comes to it. We still have you can still excel and be the best version of yourself in the professional setting, yet the same case also happen for personal life. It's never a choice. You can still have both. You can always embrace the both of it. You can always be better at both stuff. Like you can satisfy your soul, yet also have the security on the Pentacles matter, on the domestic life. So like I mentioned, it's like, let's say you're like 23 years old, like 21 years old, let's say 21 years old, and everybody's kind of like, that would be the time where some people tell you to, it would be the time to grow up, it would be the time to find a job, and another person would be like, you should be millionaire at the time, and another person would be like, you should be finding a husband, and another person would be like, you should be taking your time. You can do all at the same time. You can take your time in a job and excel at marriage, or vice versa. Like, you can have it all, you can have both, and it's okay. Some people just made to juggle all of the stuff. Maybe you're not meant to excel in all of the matters, maybe not all number one, but still able to be the best at all of them, still able to have the element of both worlds. It's almost kind of that they're hyping you up about that. Embrace that abilities of yours. Don't hide away because just because people don't do it the same way, so you're unique, pal, number 4, and don't run away from that uniqueness. So if you're willing to, we have an extra 3 piles in here, and you can pick for extra messages. I hope to see you there, and if not, this is farewell. Then thank you so much for being here. I will see you in the next prediction. Have a very lovely day. Bye bye. All right, everyone, you're ready to receive your first deck of a message, and we have these 3 piles in front of you, and you may pick more than one pile, but if you want to choose one, that would be fine as well. This is going to be the extra message according to what is aligned to your foreseeable future and what the spirits wanted to tell you, but just can't right away. So let's get into it. We have pile 1, 2, and 3. Pick your pile and let's jump right into it. Hello there, pile number 1. This is excellent. You chose the World card. It said fulfillment and celebration. And the next to it, we have the Hierophant here. It said embrace those around you. It said this is a time of great spiritual growth for you, making it even more important to surround yourself with those who love you and share your belief. Be willing to accept help from others. You could find comfort in traditional solutions, or your heart may long to try out new ideas. And also we have the Chariot card here. It said be open to success. Look at all the wonderful things you can do when you listen to your divine guidance. You've balanced so many priorities and have come out a winner. There will be a lot of recognition and praise headed your way, but don't be shy. Allow others to shower you with the gratitude you deserve. It's pretty straightforward that I would say you are near a new beginning. I feel like the Spirit's team is trying to tell you that if you've been kind of confused about which path you should take on next, or that you've been kind of floating around, just a little confused because you have just recently finished a journey and about to jump into the next, make sure that firsthand you align yourself with like-minded people. There is a strong emphasis on maybe you should be like going back to schools, or like seminars, or community in here, anything that spark your belief, anything that spark your that is aligned with your belief, that is aligned with your principle. Again, like I said, it's a very heavy emphasis on kind of just finding your people and reevaluate your principle when it comes to matters. So let's say maybe your target for marriage would be like at 28, like after this journey that you just recently finished, is it still the same? So it's a lot of about reflection, more than anything, but it's the reflection about where do we go from now, like your confusion and the floating around that you've been experiencing recently, it's not for nothing. It is all to perhaps make a way and pave a way for what your foreseeable future should look like and the direction that you want to take. The universe and the team in here, the spirit's team, is just trying to tell you that the journey or anything is not exactly moving around right now, or things are not excelling right now, because there might be a certain refinement or certain adjustments that you need along the way, and there might have been a certain messages or certain stuff that you kind of missed here, and you're kind of being encouraged to revisit those stuff. Okay, we have the Chariot card is all about success and willpower, determination. So I would say that your future would be very bright, but so long as you are always aligned with your spiritual belief and kind of like practice what you preach, type of moment, you can only achieve and you can only be on that stage of life, when you are already aligned with your heart, when you're already aligned with your needs and with your with your needs and with what you believe in. Again, there's a strong like spiritual belief in here, so you're being sent right away into kind of reevaluation in like what your heart is trying to tell you. Is it still the same case with how your brain is functioning, some sort of thing. So that's what we have for the extra messages. Let's jump right into pile 2. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Hello there, extra messages, pile number 2. All right, wow, that is okay. You'll like this one because it's about fluidity. Most of all, it said the Traveler, number 0. That is the full card. It said that adventure potential. On a Saint Lily card, that is the Hanged Man. It said it's time to view things from a different perspective. You have blessed gift to see past current situation and envision amazing possibilities. Don't worry, the pause and momentum while you rethink your plan won't last. Embrace your uniqueness and allow it to serve you. We also have the 6 of Abundance. That is the 6 of Pentacles. As that heaven opens its loving arms and pours abundance onto you. An unexpected gift is on its way. Accept it with gratitude and humility, knowing that you'll have the chance to return the generosity by giving to others in the future. Consider volunteering for a charitable organization. So I would say that you're kind of about to, or currently is navigating a journey where it's very heavy on a momentum. It's like your life is a little everywhere, There is a huge need for you right now to take a chance and just kind of like screw it, like Nike, like just do it vibe. So there's something about you that like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. But there is also a part of you that is holding you back, that kind of like, okay, think about it for a second. Like, is it really a good plan, or is it really a good judgment about it? And I know it might be very cliche to say, but I feel like the card is pretty much guiding you towards the balancing the both of it. Not all good opportunities or free will opportunities is actually the great opportunity for you, and not everything should be rethinked twice. There are some parts of your life in here that needs somewhat balance. I feel like you've been kind of a little all over the place in a way that, especially again related to momentum or taking chances, you're just kind of been a little off the ground, like you're a little your head is a little up there. And I think the spirits are just urging you to, like, moving forward, we need to restore the balance in your life. We need to restore a lot of fairness and balance, and putting it into the exact balance scale, which I think you're kind of lacking at the moment. So with the 6 of Pentacles here, again, strong energy onto reevaluating your life, and which are the stuff that just kind of simply not worth it, and which are your stuff that simply is the very thing you should be taking chances about, and those two energy can get mixed up sometimes. It's about a very like strong reflection, but after you find that reflection, take the opportunity, or vice versa. Again, big emphasis on trying to balance your life, and a balance would be the key. So anything that is kind of lacking balance, you need to balance it like ASAP, because or else that's gonna be in your path, future path anyway. But yeah, that's what's in your horizon, and that would be your extra messages. Thank you so much for being here, sticking in until the end. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one. Have a very lovely day. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Bye bye. Hello there, pal. Number 3, what you chose actually is the Chariot card. So it said discipline and determination. We have the Guardian of Action, and okay, this is an interesting one. This is the King of Wands. It said it's time for you to step up and be the leader. Your natural leadership skills are being called into action. This is your moment in the sun, so move into the light and shine for the world to see. This card is also about a person who has charisma, is inspiring, and enjoy challenge. Love the spotlight. And also we have the Healer of Thought, that is the Queen of Swords. So we have the King and Queen here. It said it's time to clean up your life, get rid of anything that clutters your space or make you disorganized. People who take from you but don't give back should be released as well. You or another person involved in this situation is wise, insightful, and caring, has a wonderful sense of humor, and offers a lot of experience. Okay. So for you, I feel like what is in a foreseeable future would be a very strong orchestration between timing, and it's kind of like almost your opportunity and timing collides to each other, and the spirit needs you to be at your full prime energy. So a strong message in here is that take care of your creativity, take care of your body, take care of your mind, but mostly about your spirit and passion. Do not deter away from what you believe to be correct. Do not back up from what you are passionate about. Keep doing your passion, but also be rational about it. You can get too caught up into feelings or playing it safe. I feel like it would just not be it's not going to be a wise time for you to play it safe or to think like to feel too much about it. I feel like the circumstances around you urging you to kind of like, if you want to move forward in life, you have to be smart about it, and also you need to be talented, and you need to be passionate about it. And it is again, a very strong if you anything that involves your emotion or being too emotional about it will kind of making you step back perhaps in your life. It's not gonna give you a way forward. It's going to slow you down even further, and it's just not simply the time for you to settle down, or simply not the time for you to think about something long term. It's important to embrace, let's say, if there's opportunity in front of you, even though you don't always see the full picture of it, it's important for you to take a leap into it like very immediately. And I feel like those are the things that can be, if there are the things that you don't like and you need negotiation, that would be the great thing to do. That would be a very important thing to do. But don't think about it too long or too much. That would be kind of not what you need to do at a time. And for the foreseeable future, it's important for you to be smart, like I said before, and always going to be, and always make sure that you're the standout one in a room. It's kind of like asserting dominance in a way that is very self-assured. So like I mentioned before, in order to create this movement and be sure about yourself, you need to feel sure about it first. It's like, people will believe what you believe, but you have to believe it first. That's what we have. And quite serious, Paltry. That would be all for you. Thank you so much for sticking to these extra messages. I will see you in the next one. Have a very lovely day, and I'm proud of you. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. Hope you like it.